live this time, because otherwise we're going to have some issues. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I do apologize. We're having a little bit of a challenge here with the whole Transport Evolved live streaming thing. I think it's because sometimes things go a little awry when we're doing the show, and I have no idea why. Sometimes Google doesn't pick up the stream straight away. And so what you end up having to do is you end up having to redo the stream from the start, which seems very strange. Let me just send this live message to everybody and tell everybody that we are in fact live. Hi, Gordon. Good to see you. Let me restate this because I sent out an issue earlier on. Right, this is the stream URL. No problems, sorry. All right, I'm restreaming this now. So come say hello. Hello, everybody. Obviously, we're not going to be doing any live videos until later on today. The reason being that Tesla is going to be releasing its Q3 figures, and we've got to figure out just what's going to happen with those Q3 figures. My goodness, I'm struggling a bit today. There we go. These Q3 videos, these Q3 results should be kind of interesting. We're waiting to see if Tesla's going to make a profit, if it's not going to make a profit. The fact that Tesla is bringing this forward suggests to me that there was some really good news going on, and maybe Elon's trying to burn the shorts, or Tesla needs to use its Q3 earnings to help it ride another big investment, i.e. the Gigafactory 3, to help that happen. So hello, everybody. Hi, Gordon. Hi, Philip. Hi, Xavier. And hi, Alex. Hope that you are all okay. There are some other people watching. Hello to everybody else who's watching. If you haven't jumped in the chat room and said hello, though, I can't say hello to you. So, a bit of a tech update here with the Transport Evolved server. Over there, that computer right there is finally backing up to Backblaze, which is a cloud-based storage service. It's going to be costing us about $300 a month. But it will mean that all of our data is now properly backed up, safely off-site, properly. We basically ended our agreement with CrashPlan because CrashPlan throttles the connection, and it was looking like no matter whether we were going to have a gigabit, somebody offered us a gigabit network connection to upload all our stuff, and I did some more research into it, and it turns out that CrashPlan only operates at the speed that CrashPlan operates at, and so it doesn't matter how fat the pipe is, it's still super slow, whereas Backblaze is as quick as your connection is. We have already uploaded, I think we've already uploaded more since I started this process, this morning, than we had in the past 2 weeks into the other cloud-based storage service. So we are now at 12 gigabytes. We've uploaded 12 gigabytes. I started that like an hour ago. So we should be good. Hello. Hi, everybody there. Hello, Tim. So I'm curious to know if you're watching in the UK, if you are going to be waiting around for this this Q3 earnings call, or are you going to wait until tomorrow? I made the decision to not publish a video yet on Q3 earnings. We're going to wait until the Q3 earnings are done. Then I will bash a script out. I will film it. I will edit it, and it will be up and uploaded. My go time for it, my goal is to have it uploaded by, let me see, by 6 p.m. Pacific. That's my goal. It might be a bit later. It might be a bit earlier, but we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, so there's no point me making a video before that point, but I also know that you guys like to get the video ASAP. So let's wait until we get the actual results and then we go there from there. Give me some quotes, give me some ideas, give me some expectations that you have for the Q3. We already know that Tesla's broken its production records for Model 3, Model X and Model S, well, combined. Model S and Model X production have not hit any records. They've actually slowed down a bit, but Model 3 production obviously has gone through the roof. Be interesting to see what the gross automotive margin is. That's a very important figure because that gives us a key to how profitable the company is going to be. Be interesting to see how much all of those headaches regarding transporting all of those cars, how much that cost. It'd be interesting to know how much, you know, the production ramp up has cost to Tesla. And it'll be interesting to see what the predictions are looking forward for Tesla in terms of the federal tax incentive dropping down to 1/2 of what it currently is at the beginning of next year, because Tesla's hit that 200,000 car limit. So let me know what you think. So you're just going to wait for the TE videos. Remember the good old days when Nikki asked a question on the call? Yeah, I'm not allowed on the calls anymore. At least I don't seem to be able to get on the calls anymore. They never send me any kind of notification. I maintain that I am on Tesla's blacklist. Until I know otherwise, I am on the blacklist. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I am totally okay with that. Tesla's done some good things. Tesla's done some not so good things. And I have to talk about both of them. And if Tesla's not willing, excuse me, if Tesla's not willing for me to do that, then I would say to wait and see what happens with stock price tomorrow. But it seems to be a dark art and is completely meaningless. Well, yeah, I mean, stock prices can go up. Let's have a look up and down. Let's have a look and see what Tesla's doing right now, just kind of as they say, shits and giggles. So Tesla right now, massive good start to the day. I mean, it was looks like it started the day and peaked at like $304 per share. It's now bumped around a bit. It went down to 284 at one point. It's currently, according to my charts, at 293, which is slightly lower than yesterday's close, but it's normal for the stock price to go down before the results are done. I have trouble talking to Tesla, just full stop. I mean, I occasionally get responses from them, but they don't talk really to very many journalists. The only real way you can get on their list is if you've got Tesla. All right, so back to what's been going on at Transporter Ford. We have started our backup. We've got our Backblaze backup running in the corner there. We have about 50 terabytes. We have about 50 terabytes of storage that needs to go up to the cloud. And that's going to take probably the next couple of months to upload. Once it's up there, we'll start adding to it. The current cost is about $300, $250, $300 a month. The bigger our storage gets, the more it's going to cost us. So when we're storing 100 terabytes on there, we're going to be looking at nearer for $400 a month. Now, a lot of people have said, well, why don't you just, get tape drives? Tape backup drives are costly and expensive. Having a co-located server somewhere, which would be the other option, is also expensive and difficult. And one of the nice things about Backblaze is they are known for their reliability. So we are now backing all of our videos that we've made pretty much from the start of this year. Things that were made before the start of this year are a bit sketchy. We don't all have all of the footage for some of those because we lost some things over the years. And, we go from that point. So we are using Backblaze, which seems to be the cheapest and most reliable service that we can look at the moment. In terms of downloading files as well, we can just download the files we need to, which is great, really great to be able to do that. and it's just integrated. I spent the morning integrating it with our server, so it's now running scripts, or it will be running scripts. At the moment, it's just running manual sync. But when I've finished that, it will be running synced scripts, basically cron jobs that will just rsync to the machine, in the cloud, and we don't have to worry about it. And the reason we've done that is because a lot of car companies don't keep their B-roll, as I think I've mentioned before several times. And very few companies survive data loss. So if the Transport Evolved server was to die and we were to lose all of our data, we have parity. That's a good way of protecting. If one disk drives or two disks fail, we've got a way of recovering from that. But if this machine bursts into flames or the studio goes up in flames, God forbid, then we would now be able to resurrect that data. It would cost us, but we'd be able to bring back all of the stuff that we previously created. And at some point in the future, I will probably end up building a second server, and that server will live at home. And then I will have 2 locations for backup, which would be fantastic. And at that point, maybe I'll be able to move to something a little less immediate, like a Glacier server or something like that. But the price for Backblaze is phenomenal. It's half a cent per gigabyte, which is fantastic. And yeah, I will let you guys know in the future how that's all going to work out. Just a reminder, if you're watching this on the Transport Evolved main channel, hello. This is actually on Transport Evolved Take 2, which is our second channel. It's kind of the more informal channel where we do hangouts like this, or we do videos that maybe aren't related entirely to our main content, which is cleaner, greener, safer, and smarter vehicles. And it's a chance for me to talk to you and you to talk to me very informally, just to hang out every now and then. And today the hangout is because I've got some updates, obviously, that I've just given you, and also that the Tesla Q3 earnings call is coming later on today, so it makes no sense at all for us to do a video. I'd written the scripts, I've worked on some stuff, but there's no point me pushing out a video right now. Our numbers are up, our videos are up, we're doing really good on the analytics at the moment. We are absolutely killing it, which is fantastic news for me, fantastic news for Erin and everybody else on the team. So we're really happy with that. And no, the server did not die. We are doing a backup, Dax. We are backing up all of our server to the cloud. We had been playing with CrashPlan. There is a Docker for Unraid, which is the storage system we use, and we thought that would work, and it didn't. It's very slow. CrashPlan just wasn't cutting the mustard, as it were. So what can you do? So yeah, we're going to be doing this video a bit later on for the Q3 stuff. For local storage, if you looked at Gluster or Ceph, I would love to use Gluster. Gluster is something we want to look at in the future. We want to buy a 45 drive Storinator. That's the kind of tech that we need. Right now, I've just spent $700 on 2 new hard drives that are on the way. And hopefully that will work. The problem, Dax, with CrashPlan is that we're just dealing with so many files. We're talking about, we've got a total capacity at the moment of 78 terabytes. We will eventually, when the 2 new hard drives come, it will be up to 90 terabytes of capacity. Now, we're not backing up all of that because some of it doesn't need to be backed up, but we will be backing up huge amounts of data on a fairly regular basis. And so in order for us to be able to back all of that stuff up, we need a faster backup solution, and that's why we're going with Backblaze. Backblaze does do an unlimited plan for desktop users, but it doesn't cover servers, and the way they store it is slightly different as well. So Backblaze is actually a little faster for that. So that's why we're doing that. So we are, yeah, we're looking to get a Storinator. We want to get a Storinator 45 in order for us to do, in order for us to grow, in order for us to continue to produce more content, we need a more robust storage server. That server there is actually the reborn edit machine that we replaced because it was being so troublesome. And we assumed it was being troublesome because it was a Hackintosh and it was running Mac OS rather than Windows. And so we ended up buying a new edit machine, which is what I'm talking to you on now. We've also got Erin's edit machine behind me. And she's not in the office today. And so we rebuilt that server as an Unraid server. It's running a 2012 motherboard or a 2011 motherboard, an i7 processor. It's not server grade stuff, and we need to upgrade it eventually to the 45 drives system. They put proper server grade components in. The other reason why I want to go up to 45 drives is because this thing can't do it. That thing right there only has 12 bays, 11 of which we can use because you have to keep a spare one in case we need to swap drives out. So that's where we go. Any problems with my 10 gigabit per second LAN cards? So many. I've spent all week tweaking the network settings. We've now got up to 400 megabytes per second read and write, but it's not reliable. And again, I'm going to put that down to the age of the computer and the PCI Express bus, and basically there not being enough bandwidth on that server in order to transfer the files. I can run, what's it called? I can run iPerf 3, which is a network tester, effectively. You run a server and a client and you transfer files between the two, and it tells you how fast. And if I do that between this and the server, or this and that machine back there, it gives me 10 gigabits nearest damn it. But if I'm trying to transfer files, it's a lot slower. So we'll see. Even to the SSD, which can handle 2,500 to 2.5 gigabytes per second, it's still not able to saturate that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna someone's just sent me a thing going, I can't see the video. All right, here we go. Let's try that. People can join in. All right, one thing I really like about 10, says Jan, is that you prepare and write a script for each show. The delivery is so much clearer and better than other hosts, and that improvise and ramble. Thank you. I really appreciate this. Not related to TE, have you heard what's happening at FranLab? I don't know what's happening at FranLab. Now I'm going to have to Google it. The end of FranLab. What? Tell me more. What's happening to FranLab? FranLab needs a new home. GoFundMe. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here. I've been so busy being evicted from my space. Oh my goodness. Where is FranLab based? Philadelphia. FranLab, she's a YouTuber basically. She makes cool videos about electronics. And she is being evicted from her apartment, and that's the same. Apparently, it's being demolished. It's something actually that I have to be very careful of here. My current landlord is lovely. I'm renting space in a former carpentry shop. Effectively, it used to be a big carpentry company, and the company is, I think, the owners have now retired. And both the owners and both their families, they're doing okay. And so they still own the property, but they're essentially they're leasing it out for pocket money, effectively covering the bills, just ensuring that they've got enough for their retirement. And so I don't have to pay a huge amount of money for this place. But now we've got Erin, we've got all this tech here. this space is getting smaller and smaller, and there's some stuff we want to do, like build some new sets and do a few more things. That's only going to be possible if we can increase our monthly subscription rate through Patreon. I really wanted to get us over $3,000 per month. If we combine that with all of the other income that we're bringing in through ad revenue and other things, then there is a potential that we will be able to move into a proper warehouse, a bit like Linus Tech Tips did, except our warehouse will be a lot smaller. We will have proper sets. We'll be able to bring in more people. Erin has been told there's a job here for her eventually full-time if she wants it. And we want to bring in some full-time camera people as well, because I'm not very good at camera work and I'm not very good at doing all these other things. So having more people on means we can make more stuff and do more stuff. And that's great news for Transport Evolved moving forwards. How does YouTube Red do for your funding? I can give you the figures actually. I'm not going to give you the actual figures, but let me tell you, it's a tiny percentage actually. So YouTube Red is not huge. And by the way, we're now at 35,000. Sorry, 35. We're now at 62,500 subs on our channel, which is brilliant. 62,500 subs is incredible and just blows me away. It really does. All right, so here we go. I will give you some figures and I will try and do some on-the-fly calculations. All right, so okay, let me do some calcs because I'm not that good. 6%. So we get 6% of our funding comes from YouTube Red. 6% of our funding comes from YouTube Red. The rest comes from YouTube ads playing on our channel. And because Transport Evolved covers cars, and the cars we cover tend to be premium, and they tend to be, pretty good in terms of people wanting to buy them, then we get decent ad revenue on our channel. The more views we get, the more ad revenue we get. So we get, we have just gone over, it's so exciting, we've just gone over 1 million views in 1 month. Our cumulative view count has just gone whoop in the last couple of months. So it's pretty awesome. So that is fantastic. The other thing you guys can do to help is to support this particular channel, Take Two. Watch some of our old streams or something, because once our stream gets above, once we've had more than 4,500 views of content, 4,500 hours of content viewed in 12 months, we can actually make this channel a paid channel as well, or not a paid channel, but an ad channel as well. We can put ads on that channel. And while not everybody's going to like that, it will mean that we'll be able to expand what we can do. And it means that we can do, all of these other things that we need to do. We're about halfway there. So 4,000 views we need, 4,000 hours we need in the past 12 months. And so that means we'll be able to expand our network and expand other things. Any other YouTube channels being produced in your area? So yeah, I've actually in talks with a couple other YouTubers, and one of the things that I've talked about is doing some collabs and also sharing the space. There are a few spaces. Some YouTubers are not so good about sharing spaces. We are a weird breed. Some people are not happy about it. Some people are okay with it. Some people are not in that same place yet where they can build that that setup. But there are a couple of YouTubers that I am quietly talking to behind the scenes and working with. So, yay! Bring me my cup. I love that cup. It's brilliant. What was I going to say? So, other things coming up. In the next couple of months, Transport Evolved is going to be kind of busy. We are going to be busy. I am going to be busy. So I'll answer that question in a minute. We are lost my train of thought. So I'll come back to my things in a second. I'll answer these questions. What is the better, sub or video watched? My thinking, subs give you a headline, but videos watched give me income. Yeah, video watches are actually better than subs. But what do sponsors look at? Which one triggers sponsor? They look at eyeballs. Eyeballs are more important than other stuff. And we actually have an ad. We actually have a media pack. We've got figures. We publish our figures. And you go to transportevolve.com/media pack. You'll see our latest figures. I think we redid the pack this week. We try and do it every Monday. We try and redo our pack every Monday. That's how quickly we're growing and changing. Would I ever do sponsorship with EV-based companies as EV News Daily does? With sponsorship with EV companies when you're covering the sector is a really difficult thing to do. So we have to be careful with it. I'm not going to ever say never. But we have a policy of we don't do sponsored stuff with car companies. We don't sign exclusivity agreements because that's not a thing. I'm not such a viewer, but wonder if you get credit for both my working eyes. Do they pay less for one-eyed viewers? I don't know. Don't ask me questions I can't answer. That was a good question though. All right, so back to what's going on in the next couple of months. So Transport Evolved, we are going to be heading to CES in Vegas in January. We are in the process of planning that. We're in the process of finalizing contracts for camera people and finalizing contracts for the people who are going to be joining me and covering that event live, or at least shortly after we get back, we'll be publishing the videos and putting them up. We're also I'm also going to be busy during the month of November, and my goal is to make and produce 13 videos, because that's the number of days I'm not going to be around, that will be released when I'm not in the studio. So middle part of November, obviously I'll be, actually no, it's like the second week of November and the fourth week of November, and then the last week of November. So 2nd, 4th and 5th, I'm not really going to be around much. So what we're going to do is we're going to make videos between now and then that will be uploaded, and they'll be more thematic videos. They won't necessarily be the news videos that we would normally do. I'm going to try and do a TEN for the week ending, it'll be the 10th or something of November. I'm going to try and do a 10 that week, although I will have to produce it and upload it like 2 days early. So I may actually change the schedule that week, so that the 10 is shifted slightly. Might be smaller than it might normally be, but I'd like to still get that content up for you guys to watch and enjoy. I'm also going to be doing these thematic videos, which will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll be producing them. I've just written the script for one of them today. After I filmed the Tesla story and got that out, I'll be working on some other cool stuff for you all to enjoy. And so you're going to have to be patient with me. If there's any breaking news stories like Tesla or anything, we may not be able to get them all up in time. Big Hey from Sneaky Linux, or Linux, depending on how you want to say it, from Deepest Darkest Dorset. What are your thoughts on Mr. Dyson and his ideas for an EV now he's going to build a factory in Singapore? Well, it's very interesting. Mr. Dyson really hasn't said a whole lot about electric cars. It does appear that the solid state battery thing is not going to happen, or is less likely. We've seen that from a couple of companies lately that have gone, oh yeah, we're going to do solid state, and then maybe not. So we have to see what happens there. It's worth noting here that success in one sphere does not necessarily mean that you're going to have success in another. So Dyson is a very successful company that makes vacuum cleaners and other products. And making that transition to electric cars is a massive, massive step. And I think the jury is out until we get some specs, until we get to see what the idea is, until we get to know exactly what Dyson's planning. Then I think the jury's kind of out. We also need to know who else is working for Dyson or at Dyson to produce these cars. It's a bit like Apple, the Apple Car project. We know very little about it. And so it's very difficult to kind of put a value judgment on that company and what it's doing. Singapore will pay for companies to use them. That's true. Incentives, a lot of companies will issue incentives to help people do that. So what about Fisker and CAT's investment in their supposed solid state batteries? Another good question. It's a weird one, isn't it? You know, CAT is not a company that you think of as being necessarily associated with green technology. However, solid state batteries, if you're using large plant machinery, makes total sense because the amount of battery storage in those big vehicles, if you've got solid state battery technology that's faster to charge, that is lower maintenance, that has a higher energy density, that weighs less, then that's all going to be really good for heavy plant machinery. So it kind of makes sense if you look at it in that way. So, you know, that's where it is right now. I've got another question for you all that I would like to pose, and it actually regards camera gear back there. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will know that we've really just stuck with 1080p as our standard filming setup. We've got a 24mm pancake lens on that, which is what we use when we're doing 10 and the other scripted videos. When I do the pieces to camera that are generally unscripted now, I use a nifty 50, which is a beautiful lens and really nice depth of field, etc., etc. And but it's still 1080p, and we're looking at, you know, potentially what we're going to do with our cameras moving forwards, how we're going to upgrade our cameras. We're not going to go to anything like a Red because we can't afford it. But would you guys rather have a 4K video and maybe less videos, or would you rather have the 1080p and just continue with the 1080p? Let me know. I watch on a 2K 30-inch monitor, never bother to use my 4K. There you go. See, we've got 5K editing. We can edit 5K now. We've both, or 4K. We can both edit 4K easy. So it's a case of just trying to figure out. But obviously the storage costs go up when we're editing in 4K. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts. 3 or 6 or 1.5 dozen of the other, as they say. Anyway, it's been really good talking to you all. I hope that you enjoy. This afternoon's news, whatever that happens to be. I want to thank those of you for watching this video and supporting us. Thank you too for those who've been making nice comments on the main Transport Evolved community channel. There are some posts in there. Go check them out if you haven't already. Some of them are. Some of you have been really nice. Some of you have been not so nice. But I just want to thank those of you who have been super nice. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to write some more scripts. When the Tesla news breaks, I will be there filming it, and you can expect the Tesla update to go live, like I say, sometime around 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight, which will be, let's see if I can do my math, or I could just use my calculator. So it's going to be like 2 in the morning if you're in the UK, 3 if you're on mainland Europe, or 4 if you're in Central. So it's going to be pretty hard. Now it's not going to be 3 or 4 hours. It's currently 12 p.m. here, so it's like 6 hours time. So expect the video in about 6 hours time. All right, Q3 results. Yeah, the Q3 results. We'll be covering those. Everyone likes the Q3 video. I mean, the Q3 videos seem to do well, so we just do. So we'll see what we have. We'll see what we see. I seem to have problems with my speaking today. I think it's because I'm tired. I've been working too much. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Support us on Patreon. Buy those shirts. I'm going to turn off the t-shirt design. The Nightmare on Oil Street is going to go away in about 3 or 4 days time, so make sure If you want that Nightmare on Oil Street t-shirt, make sure you buy one, because you're not going to be able to until next Halloween or till we bring it back for some special. So go buy one. All right, take care. See you soon.